to be here in front of you today. And I know that you're a beautiful soul. I know that you're vibrating at a very high frequency, and I can see you without even seeing you. And that's because you're here. That's the type of people who are attracted to these type of events. So salute to you. My purpose here is just to remind you that it is very important to consistently make defiant decisions. See, a lot of us go through life making choices when we should be making decisions. At the root of the word decide is side, as in homicide, suicide, genocide, and that means to kill or to annihilate. And that's the type of energy that we have to bring a lot of times to negative circumstances. That's the energy that we have to bring to ugly labels that people place on you. That's the type of energy that we must bring to even anything that holds you back from becoming the very best version of yourself. See, I have a very intimate relationship with making defiant decisions. And that's because I grew up in a very dark and ugly arena. See, I grew up in foster care. I was in 7 foster homes, 2 group homes while raising my brother, bouncing from home to home to home with all of our belongings in a trash bag. And that was in the New York tri-state area during the cocaine era. And to paint a picture of what that was like, there was graffiti everywhere. There were crackheads on every corner. And if you got robbed one time in a month, you were lucky. There were so many multicolored crack vials in the street that when it rained, it was like a river was taking Skittles down the storm drain. That's the type of environment that my formation took place in, right? And I remember one morning, it was actually nighttime, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I heard feet running by my downstairs basement. It was like so fast, do, 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 do. And you heard breathing, and another set of feet, do, 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 do. And you heard, and then you heard bam, 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 bam. That was 5 gunshots. It was September. It was dark. It was super duper quiet. And I remember hearing the body drop. Now, when I woke up the next morning, I had to take my brother to school. We walked around that dead body in the street that had a sheet on it. It was in that moment that I was cracked wide open. See, I know that God takes adversity, pain, ugliness to crack human beings open because he knows that inside the nut in the shell is the seed of opportunity, the seed of potential and possibility. So I became a man. I started taking things seriously. I went from casual at the ripe old age of like 10 to intentional. My mentor, Les Brown, says that if you live life casually, then you will become a casualty. I watched that unfold right there in real life. And I know, and I want to take it and put it on its air a little bit, that if you live life casually, then your dreams will become the casualty. I had an awakening from tragedy. Write this down. In every adversity, look for the awakening of purpose, the awakening of passion, the awakening of empathy, the awakening of growth. Look for it. It's there underneath the pain, though. So I had one adult in my life that was awesome, one adult that poured into me. It was my mother who later on adopted me and my brother. I call her my angel. I asked her, hey, Mom, how do I get out of here? How do I not be a statistic? She said, Andre, education is your weapon. So I devoted myself to education. I devoted myself never making anything less than a B all through high school. I graduated high school, even though the guidance counselors were asking me what vocation would I take up? What trade would I learn? They were asking me that because they saw my transcript and they see my psychological evaluation and said I was emotionally disturbed. How many people have ever had negative labels placed on them? Well, I have. I've had many. And I'm here to give you 2 things. Only you can label you. Only you can validate you. And if you decide to sprinkle belief on a negative label that somebody gives you, then what you've done is given them the power to shape your future going forward. Nobody deserves that much power in your life. Nobody. So I decided that I was going to go to college. Me, Trash Bag Dre. I'm going to go to college. I'm going to graduate. And I graduated. I became part of less than 3% of children placed in 5 or more homes who ever go to graduate college. I did that. I defiantly decided to do that. I defiantly decided to become an entrepreneur. I defiantly decided to start a business in New York City. And I got, from that opportunity, I got to work with CEOs. I got to work with celebrities. I got to travel the globe. I've written 4 books, one of which is Focus on Better, because I had to defiantly focus on better my entire life. Now, defiant decisions, what they do is they bring us to the staircase of possibility and potential. Martin Luther King said, take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. So where must you defiantly decide to step over procrastination? Where must you defiantly decide to leave a bad habit behind? Where must you defiantly decide to forgive somebody and let it go so you can become who it is you're supposed to be on this planet? See, after working with thousands of bodies, after traveling and helping people for 25 years, I know one thing, that the world is a living, breathing organism. And each one of us are cells within that organism. And we each have a unique function to do on this planet. And if we do not do that, we add to the disease. We add to the discord. But when we do live our function and grow into greatness, you know what we do? We add to the health and well-being of the entire planet. One person living their purpose might be the catalyst for this whole thing to change. I like to end this with a quote from somebody who grew up in the cocaine era, like I did, who's a multi-billionaire at this point. His name is Jay-Z. And he said, I'd rather die enormous than to live dormant. Let that live. Let that breathe. I am pleading with you to not die before you die, to not become complacent before you die, but to make a defiant decision to let whatever greatness that is in you be erupting out into the world. My name is Andre Van Lun. That's my story, and I hope you defiantly decide to write the next chapter of yours. Peace.
All right. Thank you so much, Andre. Man, powerful message delivered with conviction. And we can see, you know, that greatness just exuding from you. One of my best parts of what you said was what Mr. Washington told Mr. Brown in regards to that emotionally disturbed, and other people's opinion of you did not have to become your reality. And you have made that clear that was not going to be your reality. So thank you so much, sir. So to get a hold of Andre, it's andrevanlun.com. He has a forthcoming audio file that will be available, but reach out to him, go to his website and register there. Get connected with this gentleman, because you can see you want to have that energy in your life and have it exude from him into you and take you to new heights in your life. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right. All right. So again, you know, you've heard some amazing speakers here.